Hey guys, we have a meeting with POBB up in 1 hour, and Jonathan suddenly texted me that we need to come up with a video presentation.
What? How is that possible? We are so dead.
Guys, don't worry, we got this. If you can come up with a classification model, the video will be a piece of cake.
Yeah, hopefully we don't become a piece of dead meat by then.
Alright, so we need to present the interesting trends, reasons for chosen objective, classification model, and the VBA portion. Is there anything else I missed out on?
Nope.
Nice. So the video can go something like this.
If we pick a random student on the list, it is likely that the student with a CAP of at least 4.0 would not rely on financial aid, would have had internship experience before, and unfortunately very little volunteer work.
I found some interesting trends. Unlike what we would expect, the most popular country is not the same as the most popular exchange university.
That's strange.
The top two countries are the US and the Netherlands, and both countries are big and they offer multiple exchange universities. That's why Italy only ranks 8th on the list, even though it is home to the second most popular university, the University of Bologna.
Here's another one. Contrary to what we would expect, our students on financial aid are applying for the same popular universities as those who are not reliant on financial aid. All these European countries, when we include airfare, are much more expensive than Asian exchange countries. I would have thought that our students on financial aid will apply for universities that are more affordable instead.
Perhaps there are certain modules or something about the culture that is really so alluring.
Oh no, how do we account for all of this when we choose our objective?
What if we prioritize those with potential to go far in life and access resources they cannot get in Singapore?
But how do we define what potential is?
Maybe we can define potential by seeing whether the student can become a member of society who heavily contributes no matter what sector they're in. From our limited data, we can look at the type of university student they are and extrapolate to see the type of member society they will become.
Yeah, that's right. We can also look at access to resources not available in Singapore in two ways. Firstly, the immersion in different cultures, values, education systems, and pedagogical styles that is different from Singapore, which would broaden students' horizons and allow them to work more cohesively with different people from diverse cultures in the future. The second approach is financial resources and time. Without these resources, it will be difficult for a student who does not have financial means or time to go overseas and engage in a different culture.
That sounds doable. Let's hurry up and finish the classification model.
So, what are our criteria?
So, I think we need students to have a CAP of at least 3.5 to show some potential to go far in life.
Why can't?
CAP demonstrates the undergrad's ability to take in information given to them within a time frame and synthesize this knowledge to create ideas and implement them in society. The ability to apply knowledge towards accomplishing work or study objectives is essential in assessing a person's potential. We assume that the ability to apply knowledge in an academic environment can be replicated in the working world. While this assessment is subjective, as working in academic environments are different, and a high CAP doesn't equal intelligence, the undergrad has already proven their ability to produce work in a format that an institution wants them to.
We should make sure that students are year 2 and above. Statistically speaking, 84% of fresh graduates found full-time jobs in their first year in 2021. Rather than taking the time to explore and immerse themselves in a new country after graduation, they focus on their career progression and tries to be financially independent. They may lose the time to go overseas for an extended period of time to immerse themselves in different cultures, which could contribute to a person's self-actualization, as they learn different working attitudes and approaches that one may not find in Singapore. These are important in allowing students to figure out what working style is optimal for them.
Wow, that's a great idea. Using your explanation, we should prioritize our year 3s first.
We can put our year 3 bracket together with those on financial aid.
Why?
As mentioned, 84% of fresh graduates find jobs within the first 6 months, including those on financial aid. Immediate and pressing financial burden will prevent these people from using their funds to go overseas. Assuming that financial aid covers an overseas exchange program, students can fully embrace the costly overseas experience without being held back by potential costs that may burden them. This is especially pertinent to final year students under financial aid who have all the more a minimal ability, lacking both time and financial resources.
That makes sense. Also, some Year 2 students may demonstrate extra potential through their internship experience. Assuming that all internship experiences are local internships, which are provided by a third party such as a firm or a non-profit organisation, it can serve as an external validator of the student's ability to work with others and excel beyond academics. It also acts as a reflection of an undergraduate's ability to utilise skills learned in university to provide value for society at large. While we may not know the quality of the internship or what they were doing throughout it, we can at least assume that they did decently enough.
So what we are doing is categorizing the tiers first according if they have proven their potential via their CAP, as explained above. Next, we will move on to addressing the possible inability to access resources. Those in year 3 and with financial aid lack either time or monetary resources to go overseas. Next, we will consider students who have internship experiences last, even though they have proven themselves to have potential to work outside in the working world. They assumedly have time and resources to go overseas in the future. Yet, due to their potential, we feel that we can expedite their growth by sending them overseas earlier.
Sounds good.
But what about presenting the greedy route? They're so greedy to ask so much from us. We better get a raise soon.
What if we feed the information through an Excel sheet?
That sounds like a good idea. What if we present it like this?
Welcome to our greedy cooking show. In order to identify the 42 students for VTL, this is the recipe for our greedy route. Note that only high priority applicants will be considered because they displayed the most potential and most lack of access to resources according to our classification model. Follow along.
Step 1. Pre-processing. Rank according to the number of criteria. The high priority applicants have fulfilled from highest to lowest. So, BTB meets all 4 criteria. She is year 3, has financial aid, a cap of 3.5, and internship experience, making her the highest on the priority list. Step 2. Select the one that fulfills the most criteria. Repeat this step until 42 participants are selected.
What happens if there's a tie in the number of criteria fulfilled?
Good question. In this case, we will use the tiebreaker. If the same number of fulfilled criteria, select the first unselected person with the highest cap. So if 2 participants like BZB and PAP both fulfill all 4 criteria, we will prioritize BZB because he has a higher cap than PAP.
But why use cap? How is that a fair determiner? Boo! Tomato, tomato.
Well, first you have to understand that fairness is subjective. The greedy rule cannot make everyone satisfied. So, we'll just have to stick to the most imperfect solution. This is because the merit threshold based on cap is quite low to begin with. So comparing caps gives us a snapshot of the potential of each participant to apply and adapt in the various situations at our schools, as we explained before.
Also, getting a VTL for SCP during the pandemic is a very rare opportunity. As CAP is an indicator for potential, it helps to sieve out those participants that might spend their time meaningfully to learn more about new cultures and gain experiences that they can use when they are back in Singapore.
Wow, so this is our best imperfect recipe.
That sounds good, but we need to highlight the flaws in our model too.
Can we just record someone saying that we didn't account for the eligibility of foreign students applying for the VTL pass? The information given to them is very vague. We don't know if they've been in Singapore for most of the time or they've been travelling overseas for their studies. It may allow a highly cosmopolitan student to obtain the VTL pass at the expense of those students who lack the resources.
Let's just do that. Let's do it fast. We only have 40 minutes to a meeting with POBB and we haven't even started filming the video.
Hold on, we need to give a possible solution to the issue, right?
But there's no solution per se, right?
Huh? Why?
Because there's so little information about international students. Also, a student exchange is unique to a university setting. Students go overseas to learn things formally instead of going for a holiday.
So it is alright if we allow international students to hold the PTL passes because this opportunity is also valuable for them to learn from another perspective. It wouldn't be right for us to ostracize foreign students under the assumption that they know more about different countries than Singaporean students do. Learning is for all regardless of the country they are from.
Okay, make sure to include it in our video. We only have 30 minutes left to the presentation. Let's start filming and editing ASAP.
Okay, let's go!